Hello everyone and welcome to Battle of the Beast Noob Sector Zero Edition, episode number 14. I'm Adam and today we got the second to last battle of the quarterfinals with two more beasts fighting out for one of the last spots in the semi-finals. So far we have three semi-finalists here, but we need two more. And in this battle, one of them's going to be joining them. I think I know which one, but if these previous battles have taught me anything, don't just assume, because sometimes I'm not even right. Sometimes I'm nowhere near right. So with that, let's introduce these beasts that are fighting out for that one of those last spots in the semi-finals. Representing Series 30, the Shapeshifters, we have Selkara, Monster of the Depths, the last beast standing from that series. Versus Series 32, Battle on Kerador. Book number 2, Zynara, the Striped Prowler. I almost very nearly said Zynara. It's Zynara. I'm saying Zynara. Can I keep saying Zynara? No, I cannot. If the last battle taught me anything, no, I cannot keep saying Zynara. Okay, I have a severe case of the giggles today. I don't know why. Right, so with this battle arena, I'm going to go with the clock arena for the Hunger Games Catching Fire because Sea Beast versus Land Beast, kind of a given. So, yeah, clock arena. So with that, let's get to the stats. Selkara, Monster of the Depths. Selkara's abilities consist of enhanced strength, enhanced speed in water, and natural weaponry. Zynara, the Striped Prowler. Zynara's abilities consist of camouflage in the forest, sharp claws, sharp fangs, heightened smell and hearing, enhanced speed, enhanced strength, and enhanced durability. Okay, so with the stats done for these two beasts, it's time to get into the battle. As I said, it'll be the clock arena from the Hunger Games Catching Fire. And with that, let's get into this. Heads up, this may be a very quick battle. I don't know, I really don't. But I'll see how long I can drag it out for. But that, as the chamber doors open, Zynara instantly pounces out of the arena, bounding along the rocky spoke, and stays in the center island, looking around, ready to battle her opponent, whoever it may be. Can't see anything. As Zynara doesn't lose concentration and doesn't let her guard down one bit, she sees that the water is starting to ripple as Selkara enters the arena, going through the underwater exit. Selkara emerges through breaking the surface, staring down Zynara as Zynara looks over towards Selkara. Zynara waits for Selkara to make a move, and Selkara merely just goes back below the surface. Zynara wonders what Selkara has planned, and almost like clockwork, Selkara immediately breaks out through the surface of the water. Zynara turns around to see Selkara crashing down on top of her as they both engage in a scuffle along the island. Selkara grabbing at Zynara, trying to roll back into the water. Zynara scratching and biting at Selkara's multiple limbs, trying to fight Selkara off of her. But Selkara is maintaining her what's the word? Maintaining her endurance? Persists with what she's doing. She eventually pulls Zynara with all her weight as they both roll into the water. Zynara immediately closes her mouth up to prevent water from going in as she continues scratching, headbutting at Selkara as Selkara is dragging Zynara down. Eventually, Zynara gets a good scratch onto Selkara's face, causing a scratch mark to appear all over her face, very narrowly missing her eyes. As Zynara is able to get away and get back onto the center island, gasping for breath as her fur, or scales, are drenched in water. The spectators see this and realize that Selkara has a very big advantage at the moment. Selkara immediately comes out through the surface of the water and breaks away at the spokes, shattering them and making them sink to the bottom of the arena as the center island is all that remains, and Zynara's movement is now extremely restricted. As Selkara then comes up through the surface, she taunts Zynara to come up towards her, but Zynara stays exactly where she is, her piercing gaze never once leaving this beast. As Selkara submerges herself below water, Zynara keeps a close eye on Selkara's silhouette, swimming through the surface, and eventually breaking right through the center arena. Zynara immediately jumps up out of surprise and aims for the wall of the arena, landing on the ledge near a sky exit of another beast's chamber. As she lands there, she sees Selkara looking right up at her. Zynara knows she needs to go down there, otherwise there's no beast that's going to win this and no beast is going to lose this. Zynara knows she needs to go down. She tries to think of any battle plan she could think of, but no, nothing. Zynara maintains her eye contact on Zynara. Zynara realizes she just needs to hope for the best. She lunges herself down and pounces into the water, landing directly on Selkara, who was ready for it, as they both smash into the water, submerging below the surface. Zynara digging her claws into Selkara's upper arms. Selkara stabbing her claws into Zynara's side. As Zynara bites down onto Selkara's neck, Selkara roaring in pain before headbutting Zynara's head back. Why do their names sound the same? This is not helping me. As Selkara wraps her tail around Zynara's back rear side of her body, Selkara then leans backwards, pulling Zynara down. As Zynara tries to fight away at Selkara's tail, Zynara bites down on Selkara's tail, causing Selkara to roar in pain, before Zynara flings Selkara away, letting Zynara go. As Zynara gets back up to the surface of the water, breaks the surface, takes another breath, instantly goes back down into the water. Selkara immediately comes up towards her, pushing her up with all her might. They're both breaking the surface of the water as they both fully leave the water, and Selkara is going to slam Zynara into the water. Zynara is able to twist her body to angle it where Selkara gets slammed to the water, before Zynara bites into Selkara's head, sinking her fangs into the top and lower parts of her head. Selkara uses her forearms, two on Zynara's lower jaw, two on Zynara's upper jaw, and forces it upwards as Zynara is digging her claws into Selkara's chest. Selkara continues to force Zynara's jaws open and just holds it open as Zynara is forced to engulf tons and tons of ocean water. Zynara's eyes go wide with the overwhelming, water. So, okay, that's one way of saying it, I guess. Eventually, Selkara lets go of Zynara as Zynara is now coughing underwater as she tries to break the surface. Selkara lets her break the surface as Zynara coughs up tons of water, tons of hairballs as well, as Selkara immediately grabs onto Zynara's rear end and drags her back below the surface, lifting up another claw, stabbing it into Zynara's neck as Zynara screeches in pain from that, as she uses her claws to continue slashing, scratching, and biting onto her. Selkara is being very tactical with her stabs and scratches with her claws. She stabs at Zynara's underbelly and drags a long gash for it. She stabs at both sides of her neck and just leaves it there before withdrawing it, and even uppercuts Zynara as well with another claw going here in her lower jaw. Zynara, overwhelmed with pain, trying to not lose consciousness from the lack of breathing, tries to break the surface again, but this time Selkara is not letting her. Selkara wraps her body around Zynara's body and just swims deeper and deeper as Zynara sees the light at the surface of the water get darker and darker. As Selkara drags Zynara down to the bottom of the arena, Selkara lets Zynara go, and holding her down, they stare into each other's eyes as Zynara tries to bite onto Selkara, and successfully biting into her shoulder. Selkara roars in pain over this and just punches Zynara backwards, letting more water inside of her go into her mouth. As Zynara sees they lock eye contact, Zynara trying to fight back, but now getting a bit sluggish from losing oxygen. Selkara just bounces it back and just looks into Zynara as the struggling is still persisting, but gradually getting weaker and weaker. Eventually, Zynara loses consciousness and just flops down as her body starts floating. Selkara decides that now's her time. She grabs onto Zynara's tail, keeps her down, and smashes Zynara repeatedly into the walls of the arena. Zynara, completely unable to fight back, is just taking all these hits, being knocked from side to side in a very brutal way. The spectators are seeing splashes appear everywhere. They're not knowing what's going on, but they have a good guess on who's beating who up. As Zynara is getting smashed into the wall and the floor of the arena, eventually Selkara's had her fun before lifting up two of her fists and bringing it right down onto Zynara's head, smashing at full force into her head skull, shattering it completely before eventually letting Zynara go up. As her body breaks the surface of the water, Selkara immediately breaks the surface of the water as well, pushing Zynara's body up, roaring into the arena as Zynara's lifeless body is just drooping over Selkara, before Selkara chucks Zynara's body to the side of the arena into the wall, with the audience members cheering for Selkara, secretly thinking, that was a bit harsh, but okay. You know what? You're still alive, so you know what? We'll cheer for you. Yeah, let's go. As Selkara makes her way back to her chamber, laughing at the maniacal victory that she has just received. So with that, Selkara has won, Zynara has lost. If you think Zynara should have won, please leave in the comments below why you think about how my words final and Selkara is moving on to the next round. Being honest, I did not see a way in which Zynara could actually beat Selkara, because ultimately their claws seem similar in length. Maybe Selkara's are a bit longer, but Zynara can make up for that in fangs. But then you also got the fact that I had to have water for this arena, and there's not really much arena choices I have where Zynara actually stood a chance that also had water. So ultimately, it was just a poor matchup from the randomizer, which gave Zynara this fate. And whilst I'm aware I probably went a bit overkill there, you know, Selkara completely destroying Zynara. But Selkara did get a Tarzan reference in there. So that's one thing. However, though, when it comes down to it, though, I don't believe Zynara was ever going to beat Selkara. And that was probably the most one-sided battle this quarterfinals. But I'm afraid that's all that can be done, really. So, with that being said, Zynara is now out. Selkara is now the fourth semi-finalist we have in this tournament. And one more battle to go before we have our 5 semi-finalists. Who will be the next one to join them? Well, only time will tell. But until then, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down in the corner below. And I'll see you next time.